The Door into Summer by Robert Heinlein. One winter, shortly before the 6 Weeks' War, my tomcat Petronius the Arbiter and I lived in an old farmhouse in Connecticut. I doubt if it's there any longer, as it was near the edge of the blast area of the old Manhattan near miss, and those old frame buildings burn like tissue paper. Even if it is still standing, it would not be desirable for a rental because of the fallout. But we liked it then, Pete and I. The lack of plumbing made the rent low, and what had been the dining room made good north light for my drafting board. The drawback was the place had 11 doors to the outside. 12 if you counted Pete's door. I always tried to arrange a door of his own for Pete. In this case, a board fitted into a window in an unused bedroom in which I had cut a cat strainer just wide enough for Pete's whiskers. I have spent too much of my life opening doors for cats. I calculated once that, since the dawn of civilization, 978 man-centuries have been used up this way. I could show you figures. Pete usually used his own door, except when he could bully me into opening a people door for him, which he preferred. But he could not use his own door when there was snow on the ground. When still a kitten, all fluff and buzzes, Pete had worked out a simple philosophy. I was in charge of quarters, rations, and weather. He was in charge of everything else. But he held me especially responsible for weather. Connecticut winters were only good for Christmas cards. Regularly that winter, Pete would check his own door, refuse to go out because of the unpleasant white stuff beyond it. He was no fool. Then badger me to open a people door. He had a fixed conviction that at least one of them must lead into summer weather. Each time, this meant I had to go around with him to each of the 11 doors, hold it open while he satisfied himself that it was winter on out that way too, then go on to the next door, while his criticisms of my mismanagement grew more bitter with each disappointment. Then he would try and stay indoors until hydraulic pressure utterly forced him outside. When he returned, the ice in his pads would sound like little clogs on the wooden floor, and he would glare at me and refuse to purr until he chewed it out, whereupon he would forgive me until the next time. But he never gave up on a search for the door into summer.